Hello, everyone. Welcome again. This is another Changing Lives webcast. My name is Don Clayton. I'm the Chief Talent Officer at FranServe. FranServe is the world's largest franchise consulting and expansion organization. We change lives every day through franchise ownership. We work with hundreds of hot franchise brands all over the world. We have excellent franchise consultants who are very well trained in franchise consulting and helping entrepreneurs become franchisees in their own community. Today, I have with us Ray Glover with Glover Franchise Consultants in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Ray is a certified advanced franchise consultant with FranServe. Welcome, Ray. We're super excited to have you here on the program this morning. And if you can, tell us a little bit about how you began your journey to become a certified advanced franchise consultant with FranServe.
Sure, Don. Good morning. Thanks for having me here today. I definitely enjoyed the journey. About 5 years ago, I got involved in making a career transition, leaving corporate America, and was looking to buy a business. And in that process, I was, contacted by a franchise broker from another organization, and since my deal that I was going to buy was actually a franchise, it was a plumbing franchise. When that deal actually fell through, I started to consider this broker thing. I hadn't known much about it, but the guy who contacted me about the franchise that I was buying actually was a franchise consultant, and so I told him, my plans were to consider this avenue, and he said, "Hey, why don't you come talk to FranServe?" And I said, fantastic. Why don't I do that? And so I came, I spoke to FranServe, I spoke to a couple other organizations, and decided to come with FranServe because of the family-friendly environment. The folks in FranServe made me feel welcome. And I felt like, hey, if I didn't get a good start, at least I had somebody to lean on at FranServe. And I didn't feel that at the other organization. So I was glad to come aboard.
We are so happy to have you, Ray. You and I have been very good friends for several years now, and since you joined FranServe, and I've really thoroughly enjoyed watching you mature and grow in your franchise consulting business. And we were talking before we started recording the webcast about some of your recent successes, and you're kind of lighting up the social media pages there with some of your recent deals. And so, congratulations on that. It's super exciting to see. And one of the reasons I would assume that people really enjoy working with you, Ray. We work with everyday people. We work with folks in career transition. We work with folks who
Hmm.
are looking for additional revenue streams. We're looking for folks who are serial entrepreneurs. We work with those folks as well. And one of the things you had recently put up, Ray, on one of your social media platforms, the importance of integrity. And integrity is doing the right thing when no one else is looking. That's just the easy definition. Tell me a little bit about, in your mind and at Glover Franchise Consultants, why is integrity so important when it comes to working with everyday average people who really come into this and start speaking with you and have no idea about the franchise community and what's even out there and available?
Sure, sure, Don. Well, I think the biggest difference for me and an identifier about integrity really separates the consultants in our business from the brokers in our business. Even though there are broker transactions that have to happen, introductions, or we have to broker relationships, but the core of what I do is consulting. And in a consultant role, integrity is critical. You've got to think about the client more than the brand. You've got to make sure that you're listening to the client to make sure that you understand what they're looking for, what's important to them. And then you have to also make sure that, in our environment where we've got 750 different brands, you don't have to be connected to one specific brand or try to favor a specific brand. You can really listen with integrity to making sure that that client gets to the brand that's most critical and most important to them. So that's the reason why I think, as a consultant, you have to have integrity, because listening, hearing what the client has to say, making sure that you steer them in the right direction and not a direction that's beneficial to you, is also so critical to the success of our business anyway, and it has been to date.
Yeah, and that's well said. And you mentioned something in that answer that we're very familiar with, and that is listening. Obviously, is a key.
Yes.
And oftentimes, you'll have individuals who come to you, and you're listening to them, and they're telling you what they want. And a part of the whole integrity part is not necessarily giving them what they want, but telling them what they need. And that's because research goes into this, especially as a certified advanced franchise consultant. There's a lot of education that you have to accomplish. There's a lot of accolades that you have to receive in order to achieve that level. And part of that is being able to understand demographics, looking at the individual's territory, looking at competition, looking at other options, looking at their lifestyle preferences, looking at the monetary investment level. So even though someone comes up to you and says, "Hey, this is what I want," it's not always what they need. So would you agree with that? And can you shed some light on that a little bit for me?
Oh, absolutely. That is so critical. As a matter of fact, one of the more recent deals that I've done recently was a deal where my client came to me and said, "Hey, I don't want this particular type of franchise. I don't want anybody who's going to come to me where my clients are small kids." And then that's exactly what she ended up purchasing because of her market, because it was a good fit in her market, that particular brand, and because she really wanted to get into a brand that had financial stability, had really good growth opportunities, and this brand gave her both those growth opportunities. It gave her the industry that she was looking for, but it didn't have this one component she thought that she didn't want to get into. After she was introduced to the brand, she found that this was the perfect fit for her. And I didn't listen to what she said initially, saying, "Hey, I don't want to deal with small kids." And she actually changed her perspective and decided to buy an area developer agreement with this particular brand. So she's going all in.
That's great. So, Ray, I'm sure there are a lot of folks who would love to speak with you and gather some information from you on your insights. What's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
Well, the best way is either emailing me at ray@gloverfranchising.com, or they can go onto my website, which is gloverfranchising.com, and fill out an information form, and I'll reach back out to make sure that they can get one of our sessions. They're complimentary sessions that we learn more about you to help us to shape our services around your needs. And then finally, my phone is 954-420-8106. So please reach out if I can help.
I love it, Ray. Thank you so much for being a part of this webcast today, Changing Lives. I'm Don Clayton. If anyone would like to get in touch with me, you can simply email connect@franserve.com. Again, that's connect@franserve.com. Thanks again, Ray, for joining me. Enjoy sunny Fort Lauderdale, and we'll catch you again soon at one of our many in-person conventions coming up real soon. Thanks, Ray. Take care.
Thanks, you, Don. Bye-bye.